go.
I'm Shana. Today is November 25th, and I'm getting ready to fly around down airport on my Harmoning High Flyer. And I'm just going to describe basically what I'm going to do. So, am I going to actively set up my wing?
Yep.
Okay, first I'm going to set up my wing. I've already done my pre-flight at the...
Hey! Go ahead.
I've already done my pre-flight at the hangar. So I'm taking my wing to the back. You want to make sure you take it back the same way you put it on so you don't twist your lines. And since I'm not tall, I hold it down like that. Dump it out, and it should dump out in the same position that you put it in. Now what you want to do is undo your daisy chain. Have the wing in here so the daisy chain doesn't fall apart. And this is a daisy chain. You just pull it. And before you set your wing out, you want to make sure your risers are set right. There. Make sure these are in a position.
What are those?
Your risers.
Outriggers?
Your outriggers. Sorry. Make sure these are in the right position. Your A-lines should be on the outside. And your B-lines or your low. Your
Front risers, rear risers.
Should be on the outside. Your rear risers should be on the inside. And what you need to do is, oh, we don't have a thing. So just make sure they're in that position before you do your wing. And then once they're in position, make sure your center cell is centered behind the center of the airplane. So I'm going to check the lines on this side first.
Talk loud enough.
I'm going to check the lines on this side first.
The what lines?
The front risers.
There you go. A-lines are on a paraglider. This is a parachute.
I'm just, make sure front risers are coming off so when this is up, they're straight. Right now they're twisted, but when the plane goes up, they're going to straighten out. And then you walk and shake them out, make sure the rear risers are not over the front risers. risers aren't folded underneath.
The what?
The brake line's not folded underneath the wing.
Okay.
So it's not underneath there. And then isolate the brake line like this away from the other lines.
Okay, you want to pull it more out to the side so you don't run it over. I mean, normally. That's okay. I normally, personally, no big deal. And I don't, sorry to correct you.
That's okay.
I leave them out to the
Okay.
side. That way, less chance of break or fall, the tire going over top of them. Start from your outriggers and make sure everything's right.
Yeah, I just looked at my outriggers.
Okay. All right. How about your brake lines on your outriggers?
I'm not there yet.
Okay.
I haven't cleared my lines yet.
Okay.
So my A lines are okay. You keep saying A lines and B lines. The
Front risers.
front risers and rear risers. And then check the brake. In this case, it is this way. So now it's on the outside, and it is underneath the rear risers. Again, check over here to make sure your brakes are not underneath the wing, just the wing out tight. And depending on how we're going to launch stacked or wide open, we fold the cells a particular way or stack the wing a particular way. Mark, I don't know how I'm going to launch.
What do you mean you don't know how you're going to?
Should I, are we going to do it stacked? Are we going to do it wide open and fold the cells back?
Why don't you roll the cells over top?
Okay. So, you want me to pull this back? Like the centerpiece. You want me to
Okay.
knee this?
That's fine.
Yes or no?
Sure, you got to be comfortable with it.
I don't know what the best way is for this wind yet. I'm not there yet. I'm going to knee that a little bit. And then fold the cells back.
Why are you doing that?
It makes for a slower, the wing comes up slower, the wing catches the wing a little bit slower, and it gives me time to,
Catches the wing slower?
yeah, when the wing comes up, these cells have to open up.
Okay, that helps you while you're sitting in idle waiting to take off, so it doesn't blow your wing up and put like a wall behind you. So it gives you a chance, so when you throttle up, it pops through that prop blast, okay? So you can start moving and kind of pop it through the prop blast.
And then always want to check your end cell, make sure that's open, leave that one open.
Okay. Okay. Are you nervous?
A little bit. Take this with
So you don't leave your bag here on the ground?
No.
Why not?
Because if you have an emergency landing, or like me, you land on the other side of the airport half the time, then you don't want to be messing with the carrier trying to.
You don't have to walk back and get your bag.
You don't have to get your bag or push a paramotor with the wing up. You can't start it up. Not there. Move down. Double check everything. Make sure your rear seatbelt, you're going single.
Okay, show me a. I know you already did a pre-flight, but let's do another pre-flight real quick and show me what you're doing.
Okay. Anyway, I was saying, if you ever do seaplane, make sure your seatbelt is fastened, because if not, it'll fly back into your prop.
Has the potential to fly through your prop.
Potential, which if your seatbelt's long enough, it will. So, pre-flight, you want to start from one point in the plane and end up at the same point on the plane. So, on the pre-flight here, what I did was check the tire, make sure I had enough pressure. We recently replaced this bolt, so I checked the bolt, make sure there were enough threads coming out of it so it's not loosening up. And then walk the plane and look at everything. Make sure your lines are not frayed. There's no frayed lines or anything. Make sure your
Cables.
like this right here is a little loose.
What is that?
This is a D-ring that holds your brake line.
Okay.
That's a little loose. So you want to make sure you tighten that. Make sure your brake lines are connected right. You can glance at all the bolts.
What are you looking at the bolts? What are you
As
doing?
you're going along, glance at the bolts and make sure that all of them have a few, at least 2 or 3 threads showing, and that there's nothing loose or nothing that looks like it's shifted or anything. You want to make sure your brake line pulleys are not twisted. Make sure they're nice and secure. Then your outriggers. The whole time looking to make sure you didn't leave like a hat or tools or anything on the plane. And then come around here, check this tire. Again, glance at the nuts and everything and make sure it all looks sound. And it does. And then continue towards the back of the plane. And back here, basically I look to make sure that no wires have broken, the little wires that are attached to everything, to make sure if they fall off they don't fly through the prop. Make sure everything's still wired up. Make sure there's no tools again or cell phone or anything left on the motor. Check your prop.
How you check your prop?
Visually check your prop by, you can rub your finger down it to feel for any nicks or stuff that you may not be able to see with the naked eye. And there's going to be some if you use your prop at all. But this feels for cracks. And you know, obviously if you use your prop, you're going to have some little wear and tear on it. Everything looks secure. Make sure none of the bolts have backed out. I always like try to wiggle the frame, because if one of these bars come loose, you'll feel it when you wiggle the frame. And then go across to the other side. Do the same thing over here. Again, checking all your connectors. When you're over there, when I was over there, I also look at my gas, which I would have done. I did that before I left. Make sure I have enough gas. Come over here, and then, especially since that other D-ring was loose, I'm definitely going to make sure I check this one.
Do you have tools with you at all times, or?
I do have tools with me in the seat.
In the seat?
Yep. Carry tools under here in the seat. Basic tool set, crescent wrench, screwdriver, starter fluid. Maybe channel locks, but mainly a crescent wrench and a screwdriver. Because if the main thing you're going to have to adjust is your D-rings, or tighten your D-rings.
Okay, so is this plane ready to go?
I would say yes.
Okay, so when we start flying, which we're waiting for some fog to burn off, what is your intentions in flight?
According to the windsock, the wind's coming from this direction. So I'm going to...
What direction is that?
From west.
Okay.
So the wind's coming from the west. I'm going to get in the plane, strap up, put my helmet on, get all ready for that. And then once the fog burns off, I'm going to throttle up, and that's going to bring the wing up, start bringing the wing up, and I'm going to start moving forward. When I throttle up, I'm going to start moving forward, and the wing's going to come up past the prop blast and start expanding. And when it does that, I'm going to back off on the throttle, and then that's when I look at my end cells to make sure they're not curled over, or make sure a line's not over them. If they are, I need to pump whatever side to open up that end cell. The whole time moving forward, not at full throttle though, moving forward. And then once the end cells are clear and the wing is up above me, then you check the whole, you want to check the whole line of the wing, not just end cells. You want to follow the edge of the wing too. Once that's done, I'm still throttling forward. Then the next thing I'm going to do is check my outriggers to make sure these are in a position that they're not twisted.
What is that there you got? Is that your outrigger right there?
Check the brake line.
Okay.
Make sure the brake line pulley is not twisted.
Okay.
Like the other day I went up and it was like this. And so I had to, it was like that when I went up, and immediately I could feel the plane tilting. It was on the other side to the right. So I had to reach out and pull this around so it straightened out.
Okay.
So I'm going to immediately check those, and if those look good, then I'm going to give it full throttle and glance at my wing again, make sure it's where I left it, and give it full throttle, and then apply the brakes evenly to get liftoff. And then,
You have to apply the brakes to get liftoff?
no.
Okay.
So
Why
I
are
make-
you applying the brakes to get liftoff?
Well, if I'm still on the ground, then I need to apply the brakes liftoff, or I need to, if I'm at full throttle and I'm not lifting off, then I need to apply the brakes.
Why would you not be lifting off?
I don't know.
If you're not lifting off soon enough, maybe. It'll help give you a little bump is all it does.
Okay, so eventually I would lift off if I was at full throttle, but we want to lift off sooner than across Titusville. So that's why I would be lifting off. And then once I lift off for this particular day, I'm going to fly north. I'm going to take a turn right to the north, right? And go up about 200 to 300 feet, to curve around to the south, fly. I'm going over the runway,
Okay.
coming this way.
Correct.
Then I'm going to fly south, then come east, come up along the hangars over the runway, because I want to get into wind line. You don't want to land against the wind or crosswind. So once I can see the windsock, I'll be able to come back to the same location that I started, probably down there a little bit more where I have more room. And then I'm going to start descending. I'm going to lower the throttle or decrease the throttle, start descending, and when I get about 50 feet, I'm going to increase the throttle or try to level out if I can. I've not really learned that yet, but I'm going to try to level out to where I can stay at a same height for a few seconds or for a short distance. I don't know.
Football field.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I haven't done that yet. Not that I know of. If I did, I had no idea I did it. And then we're going to stay at about 50 feet and then level out for a short period and then throttle up to take back off and do that 2 more times. And then when I land, I'm going to kill my engine at about 200-300 feet.
Where at? Over the field? I mean, over the runway over there, or where are you
No,
killing
I'm
your?
gonna come right back where, well, depending where the windsock.
Okay.
When
You're gonna get in wind line.
I'm gonna get in wind line. So depending where the whatever the windsock tells me to do, then that's where I'm gonna go.
You gonna rely on the windsock, or how do you tell if you don't have a windsock?
Well, you can feel it. The wind's gonna drag the plane the wing to try to get it into wind line automatically. So you'll feel it like shifting to the left or.
You feel the aircraft kind of pushing to the left, or
to the left or pushing to the right, and
you'll feel the nose kind of pushing your nose off to one side or the other. You want to kind of point straight back into the wind.
Yeah.
you'll feel it kind of pushing the nose of the plane sideways, where you'll be crabbing, kind of sort of, if you're off the wind line.
But
So if
you
it's
wanna follow, no, you wanna
so
follow
if it's
that, or
pushing
wanna
you,
go off?
if it's pushing you to the left, you want to turn into it a little bit more so it doesn't push you to the left.
Right. So you follow the way the plane is, the wind is pushing you.
No,
You do the
push
opposite.
into if it's pushing you that way, that means the wind's going that way,
Right.
and you want to push into the wind
So you go the
so you
opposite
get
way.
into the
So you
wind.
go the opposite way.
Correct,
Okay,
because
yeah.
you want to land going into the wind,
Right,
not
okay.
going with the wind.
Well,
If you
that's
let
what
it push.
That's what I thought, but then when you started talking, I was like, what? I got
Okay.
confused. I apologize.
Okay, no problem. You did great,
Normally
actually.
you want to counteract it. That's what I was thinking. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so I'm going to get in wind line. I'm going to cut my motor off around 200 or 300 feet. And then I'm going to try to land in this area. If I'm coming in too fast or coming in to where I'm going to land all the way over there, I'm going to do S turns.
If you're coming in too fast.
Or too, whatever it's called, too long. I don't know what the word.
If you're going to overshoot your
If I'm going
land.
to overshoot my landing, whatever.
There you go.
I don't know the word terminology yet.
Okay.
If I'm going to overshoot my landing, then, and I'm high enough to do this, I'm going to start doing S turns to kind of bleed off some altitude. And then once I feel like I'm at a good altitude, to where I can hit my landing spot, then I'm going to come in for a landing. And when I come in for a landing at about 20 feet, I need to prepare myself, and I might make sure my feet are ready to flare. So at about 20 feet, I can kind of start preparing for the flare. At about 15 feet, I can start moving with the flare. At about the last 10 feet, I need to really push to flare.
Yeah.
Or
you might not really want to push at 10 feet, because if you pushed at 10 feet and went back up, if you had too much face wind, you'd actually go up and be too high. So you got to feel it mattering on what your wind is in your face. You kind of got to just make sure you're looking out in front of you, kind of melt into the ground instead of slamming, or you don't want to flare too high, because if you flare too high, then what happens?
you slam down into the ground. You have a bumpy landing.
Okay, you're doing great though. All right, so basically,
right when I do that, the minute I flare and hit the ground, then I hit my kill switch and immediately reach for the brake lines and start pulling the wing in so it doesn't come over or the plane, in front of the plane or over the plane where it lands on it, and burn the wing up.
very good. You ready?
Gotta pee.
Are you scared? Got it scared?
No.
Okay, good.
Wish it wasn't so foggy.
Yeah, we're gonna let it burn off a little bit or see what's happening, and we're gonna wait it out. Anyways, Shana Gudgel, powered parachute, little demonstration of setting up a wing, and you'll see more of her coming up. ParaRave Adventures. Peace out.